Hello, everyone. My name is Gary. Welcome to the fourth episode of XYZ Podcast in collaboration with Saigon Hoi Arts Festival. Today, I'm very happy to meet another two new friends, Sammy, Chau, and Ceci Yeow, who are the artists of 1/6 Land. Is a art installation based in High Island. So, in conjunction with the arts festival, they created a artwork inspired by geographical observation that they found or from the site, and they came out with the art installation. So I'm glad to got both of them on board. So we have Sammy and Ceci. Welcome. And how are you both?
Hello, nice to meet
Hi.
you. Yeah, good.
Good. Thanks a lot for your time. And then now you got your background of your artwork, and also you wearing a t-shirt of
Yeah,
Saigon Hoi Arts Festival.
yes.
So how are you both? And before that, before this podcast recording, you briefly share about yourself. And Sammy, you are a postgraduate from architecture school.
Yeah, I'm studying my Master of Architecture studies in CHK right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ceci is not from architecture background, but from a rather interesting background, which is from theater performance.
Yes, I was work as a freelance theater worker right now.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. I mean, maybe let's talk a little bit about your background. How did you both meet, and how was the working experience together with like kind of cross-disciplinary outcome in this artwork?
Yeah, we're just a partner, and because we love design or something about design, and I'm from architecture, and she is from lighting design or some theater design. So, because we tried different competition before, but using our own names, so we tried to think, do we need a name for us represent our group? So we start with this design name, and yeah, we just started this year, and the name actually you did like this. It's actually represent our little hamster, our pet, and
Okay.
so yeah, so it's the sound that the hamster did like this, and so we use it as our studio name to do
So
different competition and works.
okay. So I mean the name itself is quite cute, and then so
Yeah.
it's a rather playful name that we can see from the artwork itself. Just a little bit of background. So you mentioned that you both did some competitions before. How was it different from this art installation? Was it kind of similar in art installation kind of thing, or it's much more on building, like larger scale?
I think an art piece for an art festival is quite different to do just an art piece that I put it in somewhere in the city, because art festival is a more larger scales and more people will visit your artwork, and also our artwork need to consider the outdoor or the weather issues like this, and so it's quite a challenge for us to do this kind of things because it is our first time to do like this art installation that we put it the outside. Like before we did several. For me, I did several art installation, but it's more like an indoor installation. So it is my first time to do an outdoor installation. So I think this is the most difficult part for us to solve, like say the structure, also the weather issues like this. And yeah, but it's a quite good experience for us to do like this art piece for art festival like this.
I mean that's very interesting because always theater and architecture intertwine in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of similar and mutual interests. I'm quite interested to know, Cici, what's your interest? I mean, when it comes to architecture, what do you find? I mean, would you study architecture?
I actually not really studied architecture yet, but as I was a theater worker, I know a lot of like structures and safety issues about the sceneries. So that is quite fun to have a chance to cooperate with him, because I once we have do a installation together actually. So it's like work in my school, and we designed to lighting some issues something, and I find him to help me to decorate the floor. So it's quite fun for me, and the experience makes me like I feel it is quite fun to cooperate with an architect. So I
No.
think it is a good chance. Maybe okay, then we see the open call at that time. So I think, oh, maybe it's a time to like really choose and really have a chance to try an outdoor event together.
Mhm.
So I asked him to join together.
I
Yeah.
see.
And architecture is always about the spaces, the relationship between the spaces and also human. So, and for yeah, I always do the designs about spaces, and for her, she always think about how to make it more practical, how to do it in reality, and also she was really likes the light design. So light and architecture, it create a more interesting space like this.
Because I noticed from TT design Instagram, there are a lot of things intertwined somehow with music, with stage, with lighting, with graphics as well. So there are a few very interesting graphics, almost like a comic going on. I mean, if that's, I mean, for now, then I would love to jump into the artwork because I noticed they are. I mean, it's a rather smaller architectural piece that
Mm-hmm.
you both designed, but at the same time, it's also a small theatrical stage dedicated for the history of High Island. So
Yeah.
1/6 land is kind of inspired by the geographical topography of the place. Do you mind to share a little bit about the process and also the thinking process behind this artwork? And also, I'm quite interested to know from CC point of view how what was your involvement and which part of art installation that you like the most in challenging your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe we start with the conceptual idea first. Actually, for us who are not living on this island, just a person from a city place, we always know this island because of the topography. The very special hexagonal columns, and so we try to start with this idea to have to uh and is to start with this topography, and then we try to understand this island more, and we find out actually the Tian Hao Temple is another quite unique culture on this island. So we try to uh, integrate these two things together and to make uh, to do the artworks. Yeah.
Okay. How about Sissy? Yeah.
Uh, when we start to know this open core, and then we did a really lots of research about this village, and we found out there is many famous attractions like he said. So we want to mix and match these two things. So we use the hollow hexagonal pillars as the base, and we use the ropes to create the side texture, and we took the colors from the Tin Hao Temple to decorate our robes. We just hope our work can blend into the nature. So some sides we use the mirror still to reflect the environment. So that's how our module was started. And after that, we also find out a lot of fascinating narratives after we have done the research and talk to the villagers. So we also captured some stories and we make it in a written form and stuck it on our mirror still site to let the audience, whenever they come, and they can enjoy their artworks with the mirror landscape and also discover more about this island.
Yeah, and this part will keep continue during this festival. Like we captured the previous stories of these places and also the villages, but we hope the visitors or anyone they can tell us about their own new story on this island, and we will transform it into a word forms and put it on our artwork. And by this duration of this art festival, the artworks will complete maybe just after 1 year, 2 years like this, with lots of stories, new and past, like this. Yeah.
I mean, I quite like the in fact, I'm quite intrigued by the little details like the ropes and also sort of create almost like a rainbows patterns vertically, and also there's a plates that there are text written on the mirror, and this is Tin Hao Temple, but it's dedicated for Matu, which is probably not very common. I'm not sure. Is it common in Hong Kong to have Matu Temple?
Yes, as Hong Kong was a little city before, but they also doing the fishing. So it's based on the fishing. They how they start to live there. So this is important for them with this culture. So they also have the praying, and they will also still they will fishing a lot right now, and they will have some fish or some seafood restaurants still on the village, and they still produce a lot of seafood products to the commerce.
And also because I'm quite interesting. What an interesting artwork is to intertwine with the natural landscape elements into the human cultural sector, where you talk about the temple itself. Quite curious about the term itself, the topic 1/6 land. How was it, come by this name of the artwork?
That's her idea.
The name is come from me, and we named it as 1/6 land was because I want people, when they go to see our artwork, not only just seeing our artwork, and this is only a part of this village, a part of this island. There is still a lot of places there you can go around and to discover it. So I put it 1/6, which means like only six and just only 6 parts of we just included in the part 1, and then you can still to discover the part 2 to part 6. We use 6 as the word just because of the hexagonal pillars. It's a 6 side, so we use the 6 material, and we use our artwork as 1. So I created like 1/6 land.
Yeah.
I see. So it's inspired by the hexagon columns, and then the number 6 goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite cute. It's a very interesting name. I think that the somehow the use of materials, for example, mirrors, sort of mirroring the surrounding, and the column itself is almost disappear, where you see the text almost floating on the pillar because it's reflecting on the grass and also the hills opposite. Um, could you please tell us about this idea of using mirror and also the landscape itself? Maybe you can bring us through about the landscape who never been to High Island, which I'm quite interested. Is it highly populated or what's the situation or condition there?
Mm-hmm. For this material that we use, mirror steel, like say you mentioned, it actually reflect the surrounding natural fields. And also this is what we expect to put in our artworks, because we try to consider bamboos, wood, or even some just a uh, just a normal white colors. But I think, but we think it's just more like a you know, just very separate with the nature. But we hope to bring the nature to our installation. So we try to use some very artificial materials, like say this uh, um, mirror steel. So the mirror steel can reflect the entire nature of this island to our artwork. So when people go closer to our artwork, they not only seeing the maybe the colorful ropes, or not only seeing the works, or not only understanding the history of the island, but they also can see the entire nature feel of this island in our artwork.
And also, it's quite fun that the artwork where we displayed it, the places you can see the beach at the side, and also at the back you can see the grass, and you can see the trees and the mountains, which is a place that you can see both of the sceneries in one place. So we want to blend more our work in the nature, so that we can build a connection, like when the visitor go to see it, our artwork, as the mirror still reflects, so it will see him also, and the landscape also, so you can see the connection in the inside the scenery and also with the visitors.
Mm-hmm. And somehow when in the narrative you mentioned about the existence of the temple where the fishermen used to pray at, and it somehow looks like the form of this very rectilinear form, like columns. It looks like the incense stick, where it's almost like a praying, the praying stick, where it's like a joystick kind of design, where it's a lot of sticks in the temple that you might see. And also, I'm not sure, because I find it's very interesting when you mention about the mountain at the back and the sea at the front. It's kind of like I don't know, it's maybe unintentional meaning there. Is kind of like the location of temple. Usually you have the mountain at the back and the water at the front, maybe good feng shui or things like this. So it's kind of that kind of meaning. But I'm quite curious about some interesting stories that you have collected about the place. Was there any interesting characteristic about the place?
Uh-huh. For the existing situation of our site, you only can see just a lawn with many grasses, and also some yeah, just a quite more like an abandoned places right now. But when we talked to the leader of this village, and he mentioned that actually there was a football playground before. Yeah, and this kind of conversation inspired us. Oh, actually, something is quite interesting before about this place, but nowadays we don't know. We can't see those maybe activity or even spaces at this right now. So maybe we can try. We want try to introduce this kind of hidden story behind these places to the visitors to tell them, okay, this area has its own very unique stories before for maybe for the villagers or even for Hong Kong like this.
So you mean the site where the art installation is based upon, it used to be a playground. It used to be a football pitch.
Football
okay.
playground many years ago.
Wow. So and then also
because the village now there's just only one person to live here, and many of the villagers just went to the city for work and living in other cities in Hong Kong.
And also I noticed a few buildings, like the white building at the back. So is there anyone else still living there, or just one people like you mentioned?
Just one greenhouse is occupied by the leader of the village, and others houses just abandoned and put it here. No people live.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I mean, approaching to the end of this podcast, I'm quite curious to know like what would be the lesson or takeaway that you would love the visitors to think about. Was it more on natural conservation? Was it more on human cultural side, about the forgotten past or memories that you wish to bring about this artwork, that you wish the visitors to find out more about this place?
We wish to let the visitors know, first of all, we want them to know more about this village or this island, and then they can think about the past, and when they're thinking about the past, and they can thinking about how to maybe rebuild this village, or let the village become more visitors to be here, as the government started to have the shipping boat here, and it is quite good for the livers where they live here before, because they can come back easily without like working for a long way to here, and they can come back more often. So it is a good chance to let new people know more about this place, and let the old people come back, and maybe we can rebuild the places and let the villages become more and more better.
Renovation is always a long story, and we hope our artwork is one of the starting point of this idea, because we did a lot of research and talked to many villagers. There are lots of history and also the story in the past about these places, but they don't have too many update or new story of this area. So we hope to use our installation as a starting point to record the previous story, and also to continue the new story at the same time through our art piece. That's why we hope the villagers or even the visitors can write and can check with us to tell more about their own experience, so we can record it on our art installation.
I do have one last question that I'm quite curious to know, because I really wish to see the artwork with my own eyes. But on the mirrors, so there are some writings. Were there any other columns on the captions on the installation? Because what I noticed on the website is about the temple, and also I think there are some like a blessing on the mirror. So is there any other text that written on the columns?
There's we totally have 8 types of words, which separate as 8 different aspects of this island, and maybe they have some about Tin Hao Temple, and about another like about the hexagonal columns, how it becomes, and also about the people, what kind of people will live here, and how was their living style was like, and what school they have been before, and maybe, and also like what else?
Yeah, just yeah, just like I mentioned before, those wordings that already exhibit on our artwork is more like about the historical background of these places, just like the living style, the history of this village, or some cultural things, just something about past. And yeah, through we want the visitors or even other guys can tell us their own story, their little experience of this island, so that we can continue to record more wordings on our through our artworks. So at this moment, there are only 6 columns that already has been put some words on it, and we hope to continue this action to fill and others columns like this. But more like about something new and yeah, future stories of these places, not only the past.
Great. I mean, I hope you had a lot of fun working together with the villagers and also the local community in creating such an artwork. I suppose it brings some colors and also joy to the place, and bring in some sort of reminder of the past, and also thinking about the future of the villages as well. So yeah, I think that's it. And thank you so much, Ceci and Sammy, for your wonderful sharing. And it's very, very nice, and quite happy to see, even though such a simple artwork is also, carries so many meanings about the place. So congratulations, and good to see you both. Cool. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you soon.
Okay. See you.
See
All right.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.